Hey guys. Hey. Come on. Listen. I forgot. I forgot. I had all intentions of doing my Thursday relationship motivation early, and it slipped my mind. Like, it just slipped my mind. I've been doing so much running and everything, and I was cooking, and next thing I know, it was this late. Hey, Kern. And I forgot all about it. I was like, am I forgetting to do something? And I said, oh my God, I didn't do Thursday relationship motivation. Hey, Google, pause. So guys, here I am with Thursday relationship motivation. I am Dr. Michelle, for those of you who don't know me, that join on. And those who do know me, welcome. You know, on Thursdays, we do co-host type of thing. We chop it up, we talk, we mix, we mingle, we just put it out there, right? So I really enjoy Thursdays because I get the opportunity to be able to converse with you guys back and forth. So today's topic is, should I take him back? Now, when I say should I take him back, I'm not just talking about me. I just want to put that out there. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about these situations we get in, ladies. These situations we get in when we're trying to figure out, should we take him back? And I want to help you out with that situation, because too many times we spend too much time in an area that we need to just let go. You know, we don't know how to let go. We don't know how to move forward. We don't know how to say enough is enough, because as women, we're prone to give it all we got. We're prone to want to hold on. We want to make sure that we heard from God, from the angels above. We need the earth to move before we decide to throw in the towel. And the reason we're like that as women is because we are emotionally attached when it comes to these relationships. We're not like men a lot of times who go out and it's just about sex. You know, and we do have women that are like that as well. So when I'm talking vice versa. It could go both ways, but right now I'm directly talking about, should we take them back? Now, one of the things I need us to understand is that when we have these men come back to us and they want to give it another try, a lot of times it's because they found out the grass isn't greener on the other side. Now, I can attest, and I know a whole lot of my women, a whole lot of my good women. See, it's a difference. A whole lot of my good women, my loyal women, my faithful women, my women who will stand behind their man and do what needs to be done, understand that there has not been an ex that has left our presence and have not come back and wanted to try again, right? So what are the qualifications that we give them another try? What is the criteria that we say, okay, I'm going to take him back? What is it that you're looking for? Well, one of the things I want to point out, guys, is that we can't go in it full of emotions. You cannot go to take this guy back off of emotions. See, a lot of times we move by emotions. We let our emotions lead us. We're guided by our emotions. But this is the thing I need you to understand. When you're trying to figure out if you want to go back into something that you left, or you want to try to work this thing out because somebody has hurt you or somebody has did the wrong thing, listen, this is what I need you to understand. Let me see what you're saying. No, that's right. They always, come on, you better say so. Always. Not a one that does not come back. You understand what I'm talking about? So this is the thing that you need to be sure about. We don't want to move off emotions, and that's both men and women. When you're trying to reconsider if this thing is worth holding out or trying to take it back or go back into it, let's say we're not talking about something that you let go, you done with. We're talking about you guys had a disagreement and you said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You're trying to figure out if you want to work that thing out, if you want to take them back. One of the things that you got to understand is that you need to deal with your emotions. That means that you have to put everything on the table and say, this is what happened, the reason why I did this. This is why we're not together now. You have to communicate. You have to communicate there, because listen, a lot of times when you're arguing, I don't know if people understand this, you're not arguing what you're arguing about. I know that lost some people. That's right, Sean. How you doing, honey? You do have to leave the past in the past, but this is the thing. When you're taking somebody back and you're trying to reconcile in a relationship, you have to deal with the thing that caused you to break up in the first place. A lot of times, time will pass by and you would talk on the phone, you would communicate, you would converse, you would have some good feelings, you would reminisce about the good times, you would think that, okay, we friends now and everything, but you never dealt with actually what caused you to be apart in the first place. What is it that caused us to not be able to make it to the altar with this thing? So you have to talk about those things, because like I said, a lot of times what you're arguing about is not even what you're arguing about. See, this is the thing. You come in a house, I come in a house, and we have this big blowout argument, and the argument is really about that you wanted chicken and I cooked fish, but somewhere in that argument of me not cooking chicken, I begin to talk about, you must think that I'm her. Or he must be, oh, you must have got me confused with him. I don't even like fish. You see what I'm saying? So you're not really arguing about what you're arguing about, because therefore, how does every argument or all these arguments always end up on Front Street, on Left Street, you go everywhere and you're touching different topics, and then you're talking about what he did in the past, what she did in the past. You're talking about, listen, that's not an effective way to communicate. That is not an effective way to argue, because this is the thing I need us to understand. When you're talking about reconciling, you're talking about arguing effectively, then you cannot bring up the past like Sean said. That is the first thing. You cannot bring up the past. If you're not going to address what the problem is when the problem occurred, then you got to let it go. You understand what I'm saying? You got to let it go. And if you decide to bring it up again, if that is the issue that caused us to be separated, then you need to decide to talk about that issue when it's on the table. Because a lot of times we won't get out everything that we desire to get out. Let me tell you why. Sometimes because there is not effective communication. One person don't want to talk about it, and that's a problem. You cannot effectively have a relationship if one person shuts down, if the other person don't let you talk, if the other person is listening to respond and not listening to understand, if there's no comprehension amongst one another and there's no understanding, then listen, then there's no way that you're going to be able to effectively communicate with one another. So you got to understand that 90% of the times we're not arguing about what we're arguing about. We're arguing about things that we have not settled. We're arguing about things that still bothered us. We're arguing about things that we have as baggage. We're arguing about everything but what is actually at hand. What is it that you're arguing about? See, you can have a whole entire argument and neither one of you know what you're arguing about. So for you to decide to take a person back, that means that you have to actually deal with what it is that you had problems with. Now, if you got a list of 10 things that wasn't right and 5 and 6 things that no, then you need to leave them where they're at. But if you seriously want to consider, should I take him back? Should I take her back? Then you need to come to the understanding that you both have to understand, what is it that we're arguing about? What is the bottom line that we're separated about? What is the thing that caused us not to make it to the altar? What is the thing that's keeping us now from moving to the next level? Okay? That's right, Pastor David. And that's a lot of times. A lot of times we don't understand what we're arguing about. Now, another thing I need you to understand. You need to understand if that person is the person for you. Sometimes we want to hold on to people because we want to hold on to people because we don't want to be by ourselves. We don't want to go through nothing by ourselves. We're scared to be by ourselves. But listen, if it takes away your peace, if it takes away your joy, if it's not adding to the equation, if it's not something that you see benefits you, if you don't see where that woman fits in your life as a wife, then why are you with her? If you don't see where that man fits in your life as a husband, then why are you with him? If you don't see God in the midst of the two of you, then why are you together? Because listen, let me tell you something that's a shocker that people that might not want to know. Love is not enough. Love conquers all sins, of course. That means I can forgive you. That means I can love you. But that doesn't mean that love is going to pay our bills. That doesn't mean that love is going to feed us when we're hungry. That doesn't mean that love is going to keep us warm at night when we're apart. That doesn't mean that love is going to fix our problems when we got to go through the hard times. You see what I'm saying? It means that it's going to require work of you. You need more than love. So if you're with a person that don't have that solid love for you and not willing to go in with you and go through the hard parts with you, then listen, you don't need to reconcile. Because you need somebody who has your back and you have their back. You need somebody who's willing to walk through the hard times with you as well as the good times. You need somebody who's willing to see you naked as well as seeing you fully clothed. Somebody that's able to see you vulnerable as well as see you in your strong moments. See what I'm saying? A lot of times we want to make somebody be what we want to be, so we hold on to something that we need to let go. You understand? So while you're trying to figure out why should I take him back, one of the big things, another thing that I want to point out to ladies, a lot of times you asking yourself, should I take him back? Has his behavior changed? Has he did anything different than when you first let him go for those very reasons? You see what I'm saying? Have you seen that man by himself, that he's able to function by himself without a woman because of the simple fact that you guys broke up because he had an affair? Have you seen that man be faithful to one woman? You understand what I'm saying? Or is there always somebody in the background? Have you seen that man and been able to be around that man and you're dating and his phone isn't constantly ringing with other women? Have you been around that man and you're dating that man and that man is able to leave his phone unlocked and he's able to leave his phone faced up? Because I don't know if you guys know it or not. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, because women do the same thing, Pastor David. The phone laid flat down every time you're around is not a coincidence. They don't just lay their phone flat down all the time. It's because you don't need to know who's calling and who might call. If his phone never rings or her phone never rings around. No, nobody is dating you a whole year and their phone never rings while you're around. The ringer is off. Duh. You understand what I'm saying? Have you been able to be with that person and that person freely and sharely introduce you to friends and family, and you know that you're not walking around looking like a fool because you're not the only one that's been introduced to friends and family? I'm telling you something that you should know. When you're trying to consider if you want to take him or her back, you have to seriously ask, has that person changed? Has that person changed? If you're going to take a person back and you have not seen any change in their behavior, then you're looking to get back on that same cycle and go through the same thing over and over and over again. So one, you need to make sure that you understand what's the reason why you broke up in the first place. Don't go off emotions, okay? Two, you need to definitely make sure that you understand what the problem is, because 90% of the time you're arguing about what you're not arguing about. You have to get to the root of the issue and understand what is it that we truly have a problem with. What is it that we're dealing with? And three, you need to see if that person's behavior have changed. Because a person who loves you and who desire to be with you, a lot of times, we get it mixed up. We think that a person who go through things with us over and over and over and over again for the longest time is a person that says, oh, I love you for life, so I don't want to let this go. No, a man who loves you, tolerance is a lot shorter than that. They don't want to keep going through the same problems. They don't want to keep going through it. They want a resolution and they want the problem solved. And a woman who loves a man, tolerance is short as well. They don't want to keep going through the same thing. They want a resolution. They want to solve it so they can move forward. Because if you have someone who don't care and constantly you going through the same problem and they don't care, you going through the same problem, they're not trying to get to the bottom of it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't bother them like you think it does, because a person who loves you, that thing will bother them and they will be willing to make a change, and they will change. Something about them will change to say, listen, this is what I want from you. But you can't take them back if you're going to do the same thing and there's not going to be a change. He can't take you back if it's going to be the same thing, and there's not going to be a change. Listen, guys, relationship is work. Marriage is work. And I wish I would have knew the things I know now when I was married, because it would have turned out different, because of the simple fact is that we live and learn. And now that I have the wisdom that I have, it took me, I've been saying this to you guys for like 4 or 5 years, like everybody's shit stink. And I wish I would have knew what I knew now, because you have to decide what it is that you want to put up with. You have to decide what your tolerance is. You have to decide what it is that you want. But in doing all that, you have to decide your worth. I can't say it enough that people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. I cannot say that enough. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So guys, listen, I have to go. I did cook tonight, and so I'm ready to go eat right now, but at the same time, I wanted to jump on. Let me see what you guys saying. I wanted to jump on. I know that's right. Hey, Rodney. Hey, Sandra Kern. All of you. Yes, yes. I mean, what is it that you guys feel like that would be, one of the reasons that you would consider taking someone back is that you know that's where you want to be, but you can't go back the same way that you left. You can't reconcile, and you can't make something work when you haven't changed. And that's the thing that I think I pride myself on, is the simple fact that I think that all the things I have been through has been such a blessing to not only me but everybody else. You know, some of it I wish I hadn't, because it was self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that happen, we don't want to take accountability as self-inflicted. But when you put yourself in situations where you know it's not conducive to you or your lifestyle, then you have to understand that it's self-inflicted. Hence, when all these people having affairs and you're married, and then when somebody end up pregnant outside the marriage, or somebody end up dead outside the marriage, or somebody end up hurt, and there's all this drama, then everybody's crying trying to figure out. But listen, a lot of this stuff is self-inflicted. And this is one of the things I was saying the other day, I keep telling my young ladies, my younger friends, listen, you cannot expect to have peace where you're arguing with another woman about a man. If you got to argue with another woman about a man, then you let that man go, because he's already made his decision. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's made his decision. He don't want to be with neither one of you, because no woman should have to be in a situation where you're arguing with another woman about a man. And so if that's the case and you're still arguing, then no, you shouldn't be taking anybody back. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. You shouldn't be taking anybody back. And if you're going through a situation where you honestly feel like it's worth you going back into this thing, then you got to understand that it can't be the same way when it ended the first time, or the second, or the third time, because some of us do a revolving door over and over and over again. Expecting a change doing the same thing is an idiocy. You can't. You can't. So I'm going to leave you with this, guys. Relationship and marriages take work. They take a lot of work. They take effort. You have to be willing to give it effort. And I have to stress that I've said this over and over on some of my videos. Please don't give the world your best and then come home and give your spouse or your partner the worst of you. I'm a firm believer that the person that you're with should get the best of you. I might step outside and you might be like, well, you don't have many words today. Oh, I'm okay. And, I might, be a little tired or whatever. But when that man, you know what I'm saying? That man wants my conversation, I'm going to give him the best of me. We got it twisted. A lot of times we want to give the world and the jobs and everybody everything we got. Then we come home and we give people the worst of us. We're tired, we're exhausted, we don't want to talk, we don't want to play a game, we don't want to look at TV, we don't want to do Netflix and chill, we don't want to do nothing. And this is what people get day in and day in and day out. And the women don't get a beautiful, and the man don't get a back rub, and you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. It takes effort. And the most important thing I can tell you about that when I keep telling you that it takes effort is that you have to understand that when you've linked up with somebody and got married and had sex and you in that relationship, then you have to understand that my body then becomes your body. You understand what I'm saying? So, listen, guys. I have to go, but I definitely wanted to drop those points on you guys. All right, so don't forget, it takes work. It takes a lot of work. It takes effort. And you also have to understand that you got to understand what you're arguing about. 90% of the time, you're not arguing what you're arguing about. Get to the bottom of it. You got to recognize if it's worth reconciliating or not. And also, check your emotions. You cannot move off your emotions, ladies. And I forget the other one I told y'all, but y'all remember. What you say, Karen? Let me see. I gotta go, y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. Let me read what you said. Thank you. Listen. It's kind of twisted, but it's kind of not. Y'all know how it does when I wet it anyway. And then I was trying to get a more definition, so I took my finger and was twisting it. Last night I actually was doing a 2-string, and it wasn't gonna work. I was like, oh no, baby, this is not. I could not do that. That was gonna take forever and a day. So I kind of took my finger and just twisted it because I already have a curl pattern. And I've been getting compliments on it today, but it's kind of wild to me. I don't know what to do with this stuff. But thank you. I was at the store, and a little young boy, babies are so precious. Oh my God. It just blessed my heart. A little young boy, he was like, you are so beautiful. Oh my God. I just wanted to kiss him. But yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go. This is Dr. Michelle with your Thursday Relationship Motivation. You guys have a blessed weekend in case I don't see you again. I think you will see me again. I may do some of my mom's 75th birthday party. So I might bring you guys in on some of that. That is a blessing for her to see 75. We was talking about that today. God is good because these days, yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys, I got to go. You guys be blessed, and I'll holler back. Peace.